Hello and welcome to Stateside on Politics Social. Sorry about the little delay there. I had to clear my cache. I had to get rid of my cache. Hello, everyone in the chat. We've got Billy in there. We've got Benjamin. We've got Ramon Angie Pagan. We've got Brenner, who's saying, waiting. Yeah, I know. It's all my fault. Dark Mint says, Billy Kershaw, don't get that. There's a few owls in the woods near me and badgers. Okay, cool. So, we've been having a bit of fun just before we came on, talking about Project 2025, which has been systematically disowned by Trump and Vance. Even though JD Vance wrote the freaking the prologue, whatever it's called, didn't he? He wrote the introduction to it.
He wrote the forward for it.
The forward, that's the word.
His name's all over it.
Oh my God.
25? I can't count that high. 25?
Oh no, Mikey's frozen. Oh man, I knew this would happen. This is what happens when you've been using your computer all day to edit videos, and then you go, it'll work. Oh, he's back. Hey, Mikey, you're back. We had
What happened?
I don't know. The Russians cut the transatlantic link, I think. Anyway, no, I was going to say about Trump panicking at the moment. It really does look like he's not having a good time of it. He keeps going on about the crowds that really gets to him. But tonight he's having a conversation with none other than Elon Musk. So it's his best friend, billionaire nepo baby to another. But not his best friend because Elon Musk called him out.
You still believe he's rich, huh?
Yeah, he is. Trump is. Yeah.
You think that?
It's not his money. It's money he's either stolen or he's been given by the Russians and by the Saudis.
Yeah, that money's been gone.
So
I ask: has anyone seen him with any money in his possession?
He doesn't need the money in his possession. He's one of them, isn't he? He can just turn up and say, right, I want everything.
That's why he's taking everybody's campaign contributions to pay his legal bills. That man is flat broke.
That's for his addictions. that's got to be for,
I'm telling you, he has nothing. The emperor has no clothes.
Well,
Elon Musk is actually
none of his
rich.
None of his
own
money.
Rich.
No, but Elon Musk isn't rich either. That's all Saudi money. Look into who invested in this $44 billion buyout of Twitter a couple of years ago. And it's a lot of investors, and a lot of them from the Middle East who gave him money to buy it because they hated it. It's a town square that they can't control. They can't control the people on it. So they decided they want to get rid of, us normies and just have it overrun by lunatics. But Trump hasn't posted on it for over a year. He was banned off it. And obviously one of the reasons Elon Musk bought the platform was to bring Trump back onto the platform. But Trump's got his own scam going with Truth Social, which he's floated for billions of dollars, unbelievably. Like, who's got this? Who's this? Who are these people, Mikey, who are that stupid but have that much money?
But I don't understand it. You were mad because you got banned off Twitter. So you made your own Twitter. Elon Musk says, I will bring back the First Amendment to Twitter. X, whatever. No, moron. You just go make your own because that's what everybody else did. Why didn't he make his own? Why did you buy Twitter? That was a dumb move. Why did you buy Twitter? Twitter is already a thing. Everybody already knows Twitter. You should have just made Musk. And everybody
but it wouldn't have been successful. Well, Truth Social isn't successful. Like Phil, who runs the channel with me here on Politics Social, he gets more daily interactions on his videos than Truth Social does at all. It is like it's just a burning pit of money. But Twitter, which is also a burning pit of money thanks to Elon Musk, it already had all of the news people on there, already had all the politicians, all the the important people around the world, the Olympians are on there, anyone that you see in a movie or the people trying to push a movie or the people in a TV show, they're going to be on Twitter. So that's why he bought it, because it was the only way that people like you and I can speak truth to power, or at least tell Trump that he's a gobshite and he should.
But we're Americans. We have blowhorns, megaphones. We'll just show up at the motherfucker's job. And like, you suck.
You suck.
Like, leave. Go find something else to do. We don't want you anymore. Nobody likes you. Go away. Like, that's also an option for us.
Billy Kershaw is saying they're both skint, which they are kind of. It's not about them being skint. It's about them being both being massively in debt to investors who have invested in their stupidity. And the bubble's got to burst at some point, you know, that they're going to want their money back at some point. They're going to go, hang on, why have we given billions to this clown? And what's Trump's son-in-law? The weird one.
Jared Kushner.
Yeah, Jared Kushner. He was given $2 billion by the Saudis. $2 billion for what? That's the question.
I mean, Ivanka got patents in China in like 6 months.
Wow.
Which is unheard of.
Yeah.
But hey, you know, no one's using the office to like enrich themselves. I mean, there's an emoluments clause. People would never, president and their family members would never use the office to profit directly from. That would be wrong. Or, you know, just having
Trump
every time.
totally
I just like going to Mar-a-Lago and having 80 Secret Service people with me who all need first class rooms.
Yeah, in my hotel.
And then, yeah, in my hotel, just bill it to the American government. It's like, what the
American people.
This is such bullshit. Such dog shit, but here we are.
But
they're not doing well. I don't know if you've seen any of his recent rallies, but my man's is bloated. He's the wrong shade of orange, and he still can't talk. Like, everyone used to like love his like on and on press conferences. He is just swinging at anything that moves. He is swinging at. Like, this is the worst drunken piñata party I've ever seen in my life. My man's cannot find the point to save himself. He's drowning out there, and everyone's just looking at him like, I wish I could help you, but I just don't know how.
He's certainly in trouble. But I mean, so is Musk. I think that they kind of weirdly both need each other, and that's why Trump today has started posting again on Twitter after a year of silence. And Musk is like, oh, thank God, because Musk has been making sure that Twitter turns into the most rancid right-wing cesspit imaginable in eager preparation for Trump coming back on there like some shit messiah to be the king of the gam-gams, the king of the gobshites.
I'm not sure, like, I get why he was trying to tell Trump, hey, I'm going to give you $45 million a month for your campaign. But you're going to come back to Twitter, right, and start posting some bullshit so I can get some traffic, right? Like it's all pay to play. It's all quid pro quo. I don't know why, but he doesn't know what he's doing. I don't know why Elon is anywhere near this kind of realm. He should be off like polishing his rocket. You know what I mean? Or go do something useful. You know, you're not a people person. So social media engineering doesn't really sound like it's in your wheelhouse, bud. Why don't you go find something you like? Because people you don't like.
He's weird. That's the thing. Like, they're
both
all
weird. So weird.
It's odd.
Bunch of fucking weird dudes, man. Their heads are weird.
One of the things that people said about Boris Johnson in this country is he was the kind of guy that'd like to go for a drink with, and that always pissed me off. And then we heard this in America with, you know, if you wanted to go for a drink, would you go with Trump or Hillary Clinton? And it was like, well, I wouldn't want to go with Hillary Clinton. She's bloody Lisa Simpson. She's a boring one. You don't want to watch a Lisa-centric episode all night. So,
Jasmine, testify. I like that episode. I'm a Buddhist. Great gems.
Where Bleeding Gums Murphy appears in the clouds.
Bleeding Gums Murphy.
And then Simba appears. And then Darth Vader.
Everything.
Yeah. Ernie Burns says Truth Social is losing hundreds of millions a month, as is Twitter. Trying to psyop the world is bigly expensive. Yes.
Right.
Yes, it is. And
it's their loss leader. It's their loss leader, right? Like they're willing to burn the cash because they really need Americans to be brainwashed. I mean, it's not hard. We're already not very bright, but we're determined, right? So if we get our mindset on something, we will see it through. Unfortunately, when you're a big dum-dum and you think like, I don't know, like there's already deep fakes of Kamala Harris going throughout the internet, and people are reporting on them. And it's like, guys, we need to really just slow down, have a conversation with everybody involved and be like, look, I need you to just go back to newspapers because you guys can't handle anything else. If we put it in a video format and I put in people with 17 fingers, your dumbass can't count the fingers fast enough. Like you're just believing anything on the internet. And they're like, well, it was online. I saw it on it was on Facebook. It was a post on Facebook.
How come
and they don't let you
not true be online? That doesn't make any sense.
and then they don't. I think they legitimately don't understand. Like there's like a technology gap there of knowledge that they just really think that people aren't allowed to do stuff like that online. And it's like, no. We do it for fun. It's funny.
Yeah.
Like it's hilarious when you guys like, I don't know, go get blinker fluid from the auto repair shop with a coupon that we all printed out. Like it's funny, but you should know that it's fake.
But Trump yesterday was claiming that Kamala's crowd that she had when she arrived in Arizona or somewhere on the runway was AI. He said it's not real, it's AI.
It's just a little crowd because he's a little man. He just has little man syndrome. Everything on him is little. Everything about him is little, except for
Trump.
His gut.
He's
everything about him is little except for everything is little except for his gut. And that's the one thing he wished was little. And he's just a weak little guy.
He is.
That's why he's a bully.
Trump or filth skins flying around in Epstein's old plane. That wouldn't surprise me. He was flying around in it when it was Epstein's.
Right.
And one of the things that that's really struck me over the last week is when Biden was up against Trump, and I was sort of, despairing that Trump was actually going to win this thing. And I realized that neither of them was sending a particularly positive message because although Trump, all he does is go, is everything's awful. God, America, it's so shit. It's the shittest country in the world. Vote for me and I'll make it great again.
Right.
Fine. But Biden, watching him, there was no delight. There was no glee. It just made me think, oh my God, one day I'm going to be that old. I'm going to be near death.
Hey, let me tell you. Listen. Hey, let me tell you. It's like, dude, if you don't go sit in a chair with a blanket in your fucking lap and go, boy, we are in our youth over here. You are not the guy.
But now
this bloated sweat man is not the guy either.
With Kamala and with Tim Walz, like the energy is back. They are putting a positive case forward. And it's funny because they're hardly talking about policies at all. It's just like, at the moment, it's all memes. It's merchandise. They're selling merch. Like out which was Trump's thing. Trump was the guy who, he had all the Trump, the caps and everything. They were iconic and everyone wanted one. And now Kamala seems to have stolen the march on that. She's stolen the march on the whole having rallies every night of the week in a different city, and she's doing.
And the rallies are going really well. Tim Walz is performing super well.
Yeah,
Coach VP is crushing it on the stage.
Coach, bring in the coach. But it's good because that's a positive nickname as well. Because Trump likes to have his little shitty nicknames for people like the Crooked Hillary and Ron DeSanctimonious.
Little Marco.
It's quite funny. But yeah, Little Marco. But they've got in early and said, here's our nickname for Tim Walz. And that's what everyone's calling him now. And I think he's going to really, really struggle against it.
And Vance coming up with the stolen valor accusations.
Yes.
Weird. Just a weird thing. Because even if the guy misspoke, or even if he was lying, the way you went about it is weird. Because you didn't just say, "Hey, I thought he was doing this, and now he's doing this." Yeah. And if you guys aren't aware, the accusation is that Tim Walz retired to save himself from deploying for Iraq.
When in all actuality, National Guard, not the international front, the National Guard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his battalion or whatever his unit was over in Europe already. He had already done 20 years. This was year 24, and he was out of there. They weren't supposed
Yeah.
to be in Europe anyway. They are National Guardsmen. So it's a weird
Mm.
thing to say that he tried to dodge being deployed because they're not supposed to deploy. The only reason they were supposed to deploy is because all of our regular troops died because
Yeah.
they sent a bunch of young men into their doom because they didn't get good intel from Baby Netanyahu.
Yeah. Yeah.
Weapons of mass destruction and all that lot.
Oh yeah, the weapons of mass destruction. I think Tony Blair's still looking for them.
They're in underground tunnels. Where have we heard that before?
Yes. What was it? Brennan was saying we're all choosing Tim Waltz over the bear. And the old question of would you rather face in the middle of a forest at night, a bear or a man? And Jupp is saying Trump is a weird little guy. That's got to annoy him.
True.
And also Nellie Olson's quite sagely pointing out that if Taylor Swift endorses Harris, then it's game over for Trump. She will get her supporters out.
I said this jokingly a couple of weeks ago. If Taylor Swift and Beyonce make a music video for her, that's game.
Yeah.
Game set, match. Just pack it up, boys. Yeah. We're done here. Don't even bother. Just everybody go home. Nothing to see here. Madam President.
Tracy Cutts is pointing out that pictures have surfaced of JD Vance in drag. Have you seen these pictures?
I have seen them, and he's very fetching.
He's a blonde. I think Trump has a type.
Maybe that's what got him on the VP short list. He saw that picture like, whoa, this guy's dynamic. Yeah. He's so attractive to me now. He reminds me of my daughter.
Yeah,
remember that? All you
the daughter who
all you weird people who
totally said I would date. I totally said I would date my own daughter if she wasn't my daughter. They're not weird behavior at all. They're absolutely normal, everyday behavior.
But they tell us we're the weird ones for calling out their obviously weird behavior. You don't compliment your daughter's looks in a way that's like, oh, what if? Ooh, what if? That's weird. You're a creep.
Yes.
You're a creepy old dude.
Creepy weird
man. He had all those pageants. Remember, he was in charge of the Miss America and all that stuff. And he would just walk through the friggin' dressing room for like the teen Miss USA. Like, weird. What a weird guy. And then they voted for him.
Sexually assaulting women. He's been found in a court of law to sexually assault a woman.
And he never said that those were all women of age and you guys voted for him.
Yeah.
He's weird. He does weird shit. He's an Epstein type. And you guys are worshiping him. That's weird.
It is.
I don't trust him.
Yeah. Would Vance lose it on a bank holiday in the UK with all the DFS sales adverts? That's from Steve's Retro Loft. So DFS
What's DFS?
It's a sofa warehouse where you go to buy your sofas, your couches, your settees. Any of them, they're all there waiting for Vance to romance.
Some people get Playboy. JD Vance, IKEA. All kinds of couches in there.
Gives a whole new meaning to the term couch surfing. Tim
or a sectional.
Christopher Bowles says JD Vance and Rishi Sunak have a friend in common, Peter Thiel, who's the guy who co-founded PayPal. Also, the guy who has a bunch of companies named after evil objects from the Lord of the Rings trilogy for some reason. And he's very evil. He doesn't believe in democracy because it doesn't allow billionaires to do whatever they want. And he said on the record that he doesn't believe in democracy. And he bought JD Vance. That's why JD Vance is now the vice president, because Peter Thiel paid for him to become the senator in the first place. But also, JD Vance made up in his shitty book that his mum was addicted to drugs that were coming across the southern border. And she nearly died because of all the drugs coming across the southern border. And it turns out, you're not going to believe this, but basically she wasn't addicted to that. She was addicted to prescription painkillers.
That came over the border.
No, that were made in America.
Then they left America, went to Mexico, and came back.
And he's got a connection with, what's the name of the company that makes all the the shit that everyone's addicted to? Is it Purdue Pharmacy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Purdue, is it? Yeah, and
DuPont?
no, it's Purdue. Someone's going to tell me in the chat. I don't want to Google it because my internet will just fall apart like it did just before
I'll
we came
do it.
on.
Drug company.
He's got a connection with that, and he's also then took £1 million off people in his home state to fight against the what's the name of the drug? What's the name of the medicine
Pfizer?
that everyone's not Pfizer.
Methylprednisolone.
It's a particular drug for pain relief that everyone's addicted to in America. That's called the opioid crisis.
Fentanyl.
Fentanyl, that's it. His mum was addicted to fentanyl, which is made by is it Purdue Pharmaceuticals that make it. Oh yeah, Dave saying yeah, Purdue. Anyway, his mum was addicted to that, and he decided to raise $1 million in his state to fight people who are addicted to this shit.
Yeah.
Not fight the people, sorry, fight the addiction. Yeah. And you know what he did with that $1 million?
Gave it to the people to help them with their bills and getting their life started.
No. He went to Vegas. No, he didn't go to Vegas. He spent it all on his election campaign.
Well, I mean, those are expensive.
Fentanyl, Oxycontin. Yeah, them too. Damien Pritchard, thank you very much for the super chat, sir. First one of the night. Hey. I jumped into the racist rabbit hole to see what was going on. The internet just spat me out. Well, welcome back to normality. Planet Normal. That's what we should call it. Planet Normal. Maybe I should change the name of the channel again. Welcome to Planet Normal, where we don't do weird, and then we just have a little shots of JD Vance and Trump being weird because
remember,
weird
I think someone better than me is going to take that picture of JD Vance with the wig on, and they're also going to merge that with Rudy Giuliani and Trump and their romantic moment from years past. I'm sure somebody will find that and put that together.
I liked it when
they could be like the Golden Girls.
The conservatives were going mad in America about drag queen story time, saying it was disgraceful that men dressed as women. And the response was just pictures of Ronald Reagan in drag during the Second World War.
Yeah. And it's such a weird thing living here because I've traveled outside of America, unlike I think it's like 48% of the rest of the country. Europeans are strange to us because you guys do stuff that we would never do. We're so macho and American. So a man in drag is like, what? But then at the same time they look at maybe like a Muslim majority country and they say, oh, all of their traditions and practices are so backwards. Meanwhile, we're so uptight and prude that we can't take a man with lipstick on and still think that like, oh, he's a totally separate creature now. The magic spell has worked and he's transformed before it's makeup, guy. Use your imagination. You're being fucking weird. This is what I mean. They're always being weird and doing weird shit.
Why do they have to be so weird? Why do they always have to be so... But yeah,
just pretend.
I'm glad that people are pointing out that they are proper weird. Steve's Retro Loft saying Cold War Steve probably do a montage. He's our resident montage artist. What's it called when you put lots of pictures together? Collage. Yeah, he's a collage artist.
A muralist.
A muralist. No, Banksy's a muralist. Cold War Steve's more of a collagist. Steve's Retro Loft is saying the US lost it with Queens. I want to break free video. Do you remember that?
No.
Before your time. It had Freddie Mercury in drag, like as a housewife doing the vacuuming.
But Steve Martin does it every other week, and so did fucking Bill Murray's done it 1,000 times. Saturday Night Live does it every weekend.
Klinger in MASH. Klinger in MASH.
Yeah. Like it's
Mrs. Doubtfire.
It's just an excuse to be awful.
Yeah. Brenner says drag confuses the misogynists. I tell you what also confuses the misogynists. The boxing at the Olympics, where both athletes who are misgendered, viciously misgendered by the usual suspects on Twitter and elsewhere. Both won their gold medals in their respective categories. So well done, those two. And not heard anything from XY Rowling for a couple of weeks. We don't know. He hasn't proved his real sex, because there's no way of proving it now. According to XY Rowling, you literally can't prove what sex you are, because even if you have female genitals, you might not be a woman, because we need to check out your chromosomes and make sure you're okay to use this bathroom and to compete as a woman in the Olympics.
Well, that's what freedom is, Graham. If you weren't aware, that freedom is having someone stand there at the bathroom door with a syringe ready to draw your blood to verify your chromosomes, so that you can, let that pee go that you've been holding for 45 minutes because somebody wouldn't stop talking to you, and you finally broke away from it. And now you got to get your blood drawn. So I just hope everybody's ready to embrace the new changes.
Toilet monitors.
Going to be.
But this is the thing.
They could test the pee, right?
Yeah.
Just test after.
This kind of thing won't affect the rich, because the rich don't mingle with the rest of us. They're in a VIP box. You're not. Yeah. They don't have to queue for the toilet. J.K. Rowling hasn't had to queue for the toilet since 1995. She's not had to queue for a toilet. She doesn't know what it's like. She has her own toilet, probably bought someone carries it on their back.
She just goes wherever she just goes wherever she is. Typically it comes out of her mouth, but sometimes other places.
Yeah. Apparently Christopher Bowles saying Sharon Davis is still banging on, another person who definitely needs a test to see if they've got an XY chromosome loose. Pikachu says there was controversy at the gymnastics as well. Talking to Pikachu, the woman who does the voice for Misty and for Jessie in the Pokemon cartoons has died, and she was only 46. Oh. She's only 46, mate. That was really sad. Anyway, Nelly, me and my Pokemon group were all very sad about that. Nelly Olsen says they always question black athletes. There was that South African runner as well. They had to go out. Yeah, because it's not just misogyny. It's misogynoir.
Well, they did the same thing with Marion Jones. I mean, she ended up doping, but they called her a man for years. 4 years.
Yeah.
And then she got busted for doping when she started losing.
But yeah, I mean, and this excuse going, oh, but these people they've got higher testosterone levels, and you're like, yeah, I mean,
that's how it works.
That's why they're so good at what they do.
That's why their muscles are better than yours.
It's like complaining that your man Phelps has just got like an insane wingspan and double jointed fucking leg bones or feet bones, wasn't it? Double jointed feet.
Michael Phelps has 2 garbage bags for lungs, flippers for feet. His arms are at least 2 meters on either side. Like, he's gonna do real good in swimming.
Yes,
he's kind of built for it. So
he has an unfair advantage. He has an unfair advantage, though.
LeBron James is 6'9", 275 pounds.
Unfair advantage, mate. Unfair. Kevin Hart needs to be doing that job. Tracy Coote says, question, does it work the same in reverse? Do they test men for excess female hormones? No, they don't.
Why would they do that? That's silly.
I don't know. Dave Moore, in a video for I Want to Break Free, all band members were in drag. It was just Freddie had a moustache. They were all in drag, and it was brilliant. Ernie Burns says, we need a clone Olympics where everyone is exactly the same. Yes, Ernie. A clone Olympics, that's perfect. It's the only
It'll
way
be a draw every year.
Yeah. Right, so let's just go back to what we were talking about at the start of the show about Musk and Trump doing this interview. So Musk is going to be conducting this interview. I don't know if you've ever seen an interview with Musk or him presenting on stage, but he's fucking shit at it. Like, he's unbelievably bad at it. Like, some people, they got the gift of the gab. They've got a little bit of razzmatazz about them. He does not have that. He comes across like a kid who's been pushed onto the stage by overeager parents to give a presentation before the school play, and it's just everyone's cringing and just wanting them to get off the stage as soon as possible.
You know what it is, Graham? You know what it is? It's when it's the kid in the back of the class who won't stop talking to his neighbor. So then the teacher says, all right, well, you come up and teach it. And then the kid walks up to the front of the class and starts talking. That is what Elon Musk sounds like every time he gets on stage, like an 8-year-old who doesn't belong up there.
Yeah. So you've got this person who is shit at being interviewed and shit at presenting. He's going to be interviewing. So I'm assuming he's going to be shit at interviewing as well. Yeah. Okay, so he's going to be interviewing Donald Trump, who does not answer any questions that are given to him. He just rambles on about whatever he wants to ramble on about. I think this is going to be the most excruciating interview in the history of mankind. I think it's going to be even more excruciating than the Emily Maitlis Prince Andrew interview, because at least Emily Maitlis knew what she was doing. This is going to be like having two Prince Andrews talking to each other for an hour on a platform that may or may not actually transmit their interview successfully.
I have a prediction.
Oh, go on.
So Trump is a master manipulator. He's like a salesman type. He's good at like crowd work. You know what I mean? Musk is stupid. He's brilliant, but he's stupid. He has no social skills. Trump is about to use this boy like a pop.
Oh no, Mikey, you've gone. Come back. No, you disappeared. Come back.
But
I don't know. You went off.
Trump is about to use Elon Musk like a pommel horse at the Olympics. Yeah. I don't know what Elon has in mind. I guarantee I will put my flag down here. He's not going to get one question answered because it's going to be the Trump tornado. He's just going to lead him wherever he wants to lead him. He's not going to, or everything's going to be something that he would want to say anyways. Like, so tell me more about how you don't know about Project 2025. Yeah, I've never heard of it. And then people keep telling me I know about, like, it's going to be that for the whole time.
Can I make a prediction? If it's an hour long, I think that Musk is only going to ask one question. And it could be like, what's the weather like where you are? That could be the question. Those things, and Trump will ramble on for an hour off the back of that one question.
Is your chair comfortable? Yeah, chairs were the first things. Fucking off to the races. I don't think he's gonna be able to, like, I don't know what he would ask him that he would like have a hard time answering because he's like already S in his D as it stands. But it's just gonna be no information will be gleaned from this.
No,
he's not going to ask one hard question. So if you think that's going to happen, bad news, guys.
Yeah. It's going to be one hell of a softball interview, unfortunately. Well, I mean, that's what the people who are still left on Twitter want, I guess. There was another mass exodus, see what I did there, last week in response to Elon Musk egging on the horrific riots that took place in the UK.
How about that?
Well, I mean, the government did what it needed to do. It made a big point about getting the people who were caught put before a judge, get them a plea, guilty, fine, send them down for 2 years, 3 years, and they televised some of it. We don't normally televise our courtroom shenanigans in this country, but we made a special exception because we wanted to say,
right,
seriously, like, don't do this. But at the same time, ordinary people went out onto the streets and protested against the Nazis. They said, Nazi scum off our streets, and there's a lot more of us, than there are of you. And it was nice to see the government and the people of the country getting together to sort of push the Nazis out. And there was some amazing pictures that came out of entire streets full of people who were there to protest against the Nazis, and like 5 Nazis.
Yeah, they got completely overwhelmed. I would say this, good job, you guys. However, don't take so long. Don't let them have more than one night, because you don't know how bad the first night's going to be. As soon as the shit cracks off, you fucking fire the emergency flares and you guys show up en masse to shut their shit down. You don't want them to get out, because if they would have set that hotel on fire, you would be in a much worse spot than you are now.
Yeah.
Don't flinch.
It's still attempted murder.
You show you have the resolve. So don't hesitate. You might lose some people in the cracks in that hesitation.
But it went to show for me that these Nazis, these fashtards, are in the minority. They are in the vanishing minority. They might be louder, they might have more of a presence on Twitter now than ever before, but they are ultimately a minority, which is a bit life-affirming, I have to say. And Christopher Bowles is saying Musk keeps proving he doesn't understand free speech. Meanwhile,
Correct.
Billy is asking, has Musk ambitions for president? No, because he is not born in America. And there are only 3 rules about running for president. You have to be born in America, you have to live there for 5 years, and you have to be over the age of 35.
What does it being illegal have to do with anything in this country anymore?
Well, it's in the Constitution that you've got to be an American citizen to run.
It also says you can't run
Born
for president after you try to have an insurrection.
Oh, but does it? Does it? Because is a
It
president
disqualifies
an
you from holding
officer?
office.
Is a president an officer?
He has the office of the president.
I think that they basically meant that like everyone in the government cannot be a criminal except for the president, who can be a criminal, because that is the safest and most effective way of running a democracy.
Do you think a commander is an officer? Like a
Um,
commander-in-chief?
a commander
You
in
think
chief?
that's an officer?
Yeah, it sounds a bit more. It sounds a bit
That sounds
officery.
officerial.
Maybe it's an NCO. Maybe it's a non-commissioned officer, a non-commissioned office. I don't know.
Non-commissioned offices.
Musk could run for president of South Africa because he's South African. That would be interesting. Why didn't you run for president of South Africa, Musk?
Yeah, there's a lot of, Africans there.
Yeah, there are. So he will love it. I find it interesting that you've got someone coming from Africa to come to America and to say to African Americans that they're wrong. That's kind of ballsy if you think about it. There you go. Oh, Mikey, come back. I didn't mean it. What's happened to your internet? Is that your internet or mine? Because mine seems to be working all right.
It's like the page is not transmitting. I'm like, but I have internet. I don't know. I don't know.
I
won't read the chat then.
Have you borrowed Wayne's internet?
No, Wayne's internet wouldn't reach this far.
Oh, okay.
Too small.
Wayne he's just texted us to say that his internet's been plumbed in.
Well,
so he's going to have super duper fast internet for Friday. Steve's Retro Loft. It is a strange place, mainly full of exiled Bromos. And Ernie saying, yes, a president is an officer. Yeah, tell that to the Supreme Court, mate.
Yeah, the bought and paid for Supreme Court.
Tell that to the incredibly corrupt Supreme Court.
Which is the thing, like, I never in a million years thought the Supreme Court would crack first. I thought Congress or, the presidency, they would be, they'll be rife with nefarious types.
Who goes to presidency first?
Who goes to fucking, what's it called? Who goes to college for 300 years to be like the most learned nerd when it comes to the law ever? You got to go through this whole campaign of getting put on the thing. And then you're like, and now I throw it all away. Like, I don't know. It's a weird.
But it was Trump. Trump did it first. Trump sullied the name of the presidency in America. Well, actually, no. Nixon did it first. But now, according to according to SCOTUS, Nixon did nothing wrong. Nixon didn't break the law, according to the Supreme Court's latest judgment on this matter. That is just mind-blowing.
He's allowed to do whatever he wants. And I remind everybody, I know everyone's excited about Kamala. I know everyone's excited about Coach Walz. But we still need to remove all of these fucking protections that the Supreme Court just gave to the president. Because I don't care if it's Trump or Kamala. I'm not living under no empire. We're keeping our fucking democracy. Those powers need to go now.
Democracy.
Not now, later.
Democracy is an empty lie.
Our representative republic, federalist bullshit.
Christopher Bowles, isn't Musk also part Canadian, which is how he got into the USA? What did he come across the 49 parallel? I don't know.
Gross.
Yeah.
Way to go, Canada. Clean up your trash.
Yeah. But yeah, Nelly also says Supreme Court is the main issue. It absolutely is. In that respect, Joe Biden, he came out all guns blazing and he said, could we change the Constitution And everyone just looked at him and went, "Sorry, what was that, Joe? What do you want us to do? You want us to change the fucking constitution? That's your plan? That's what the hell?" I have a problem when I see people who are protesting against something without any solution. So it's a kind of like down with this kind of thing, placard, down with capitalism.
I told them exactly how to get this shit. We could get this shit changed in 2 weeks. Joe Biden, Joe, wake up, Joe. Joe, put the ice cream down and look at me. Look at me, Joe. All right, this is what you're going to do. You're going to take everyone in the Supreme Court and you're going to put them in jail. Okay. And then you're going to say they're going to stay in jail until Congress removes this power from me. And there you go. You force their hand. That's how you get rid of it quickly and efficiently. Yeah. And then you only punish the people who need to be punished, which would be them for allowing this in the first place. You can sit in jail until it's reversed.
Yeah. Perfect.
There you go.
That's how you do it.
You're welcome.
What you don't do is say, I think we should change the Constitution. The Constitution hasn't been changed in absolute decades because you need a 2/3 majority in the House of Representatives and in the Senate, which is never going to happen.
But if he does something outrageous, like put the Supreme Court justices in prison, then of course it would galvanize both sides and they would say uniformly in one voice, this cannot stand. Do it. They're not going to be harmed. They'll be fine. You can just put a ankle monitor on them just to prove a point. Something. Do something. Wake up, Joe, and do something. Just kill the president for another couple of months.
Talking of being harmed in jail, Mikey, you know, the papers came out about Epstein and everyone was going on about like, oh, release the papers. All the little Trump-alites. They were saying, release the papers, and then they finally released them, and Trump's name is all over them. Like, Trump's name is on the flight manifest, it's on staying on the pedophile island, everything, right? Mm-hmm. And his little people, you know, his little followers all kind of shut up about it after that. Who was president of the United States when Epstein committed suicide?
That was 2021, I think.
No, it wasn't.
What year was
COVID? It was 2019. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's not my best friend. I don't fucking know when he died. I think it was Trump, wasn't it? Was it Trump?
I think it was Trump.
Was it Trump?
I have a feeling it was Trump. I mean, you can look it up if you like, if you don't believe me, but
it was in the before times. It's hard for me to remember.
When Trump was in charge of the country and in charge of the CIA and the FBI, Secret Service.
I mean, he had nothing to gain. It's not like he had his name all over those documents and flight manifests and probably his DNA all over the place. But hey, no one will ever know. I mean, why would he do that? That's silly.
Andreas Wolf is pointing out another thing about changing the goddamn Constitution in the United States of America. 2/3 of the states have to also ratify it. Thank you very much for that, correct, Andreas. You're completely right. And that's why the Equal Rights Act, or the Equal Rights Amendment of 1973, I think, which was voted on in Congress, in both the House of Representatives and the Senate, over 2/3 of senators and House members voted for it, still hasn't been ratified because they haven't got 2/3 of the states to get behind it.
We're getting close. I think we're only like 4 or 5 states away, and those states are turning purple. You know what 51. I mean? But that's the
51 years and counting.
That's the issue with having so many fucking states. Is because, you know what I mean, the South is still the South. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the Bible Belt is still the Bible Belt. Even if you get everybody else on board, there's still that pocket of dumb that just refuses to undumb itself. So
just tell us what you really think. So anyway, you're over in Chicago, obviously. How are things over there at the moment? You know, talking to your mates, talking to people that you know. Are people feeling more positive about the Democrats now, about them actually winning, or are they still a little bit cautious?
I would say that everyone feels like now there's an election, because before it was just like, we're fucked. That's it. We're cooked. That's game. All right, let's start putting shit in boxes, and we are gonna start sneaking over the Canadian border right now. Is what we're gonna just make a cabin out in the beaver woods. I don't know what they have. But it was like it was DEFCON 5. It was like if this is Biden versus Trump, we're fucked. Like we're doomed and gloom. Now there's going to be an election, and like people were saying before about Kamala not having a lot of policy up and all that stuff. That's strategy. As soon as you put that stuff up there, I'm sure they have all this stuff written down. I'm fairly certain they knew that this was happening. But as soon as you post it, now Trump has something to swing against. Don't post shit. The money's still coming in. Don't post shit. You're fine. Don't touch it. It's already working. And I don't know who's in charge of her campaign, but they definitely have their head fully engaged to the shoulder bolts because they're not missing, which is rare. The Republicans are swinging wildly, trying to get something to stick to them.
Yeah.
And it just comes off crazy. So now they got these debates coming up. It's going to be nothing but policy, and Trump's going to hear about it the first time that night. Good luck, old man.
Well,
no hints.
Nelly Olson saying still can't take anything for granted, i.e. Hillary, but it's looking good. Now, what I noticed about Hillary,
people stayed home on Hillary.
I was in America in 2016, April, I think, 2016, and talking to people over there. I was in Minnesota. And they were saying, they really liked Hillary, but there wasn't much enthusiasm for her. Not in the same way that we had proper enthusiasm for Obama. And now it looks like we've got real enthusiasm for Kamala and for Tim Walz.
And this is a honeymoon period. It's going to fade, but they waited so long to do this. It might carry her right through the election. We'll see. I mean, her first 100 days, a lot of people will snap to it, and then they're going to start, what you said, do it. And then everyone's going to turn on her. So that's going to happen.
That's something to look forward to.
Yeah. Well, just know that the honeymoon always ends eventually. It always ends. Yeah, so this glowing period will fade away. I think she'll still be more positively looked because the things that Biden wasn't succeeding in is what her new platform is to change. Like their stance on Israel is different. That matters to people. That matters to entire demographics. Two-state solution, ceasefire.
Yes.
The words that Biden would never say.
Yeah.
That
she's saying them. She's saying them every time someone asks her. She's saying, no, the fight needs to stop. This is ridiculous. I mean,
she's sick of it. And then you also have to understand she couldn't, and Biden being gone, she gets a fresh, clean slate. She has to be united with the president. She can't go around behind his back and say the opposite of what he's saying.
Yeah.
If it turns out that she can spin this, that he was the problem, and now we can get back onto some sort of reasonable path, it makes a lot more sense. So don't expect a lot of policy until after, at least they said the end of the month, but I think they're going to wait until, if they're smart, they'll wait.
After the convention.
If they're smart, they'll trickle a little here, a little there. Don't give them shit until the debate. Make them figure it out live.
Fair enough. We've got Damien Pritchard. Thank you very much for the super chat, mate. It's very kind of you. Brexit could have been avoided if we agreed a 2/3 majority, or even every home country had to agree, but it was only advisory and Cameron was weak. Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more, Damien. The fraud referendum, the way it was put together was disgraceful, considering it meant not just a minor constitutional change to the UK, but a massive, massive constitutional change, not just on like our laws, where we had to change all our laws, but also on who had jurisdiction over those laws. We had to take jurisdiction away from the European Court of Justice, put them back onto our courts, which were already overloaded when we decided to do this. Plus, they took away freedoms and rights that millions of British people, young British people, have been born with. The right to go and live and work anywhere in Europe. That was taken away from us by the filthy rich. And I don't think enough people point this out. In the same way that I don't think enough people point out that Epstein died under Trump's watch. And it turns out that Trump
was on the list.
was on the list. very much on the list. And now, could you see Trump doing something like that? I mean, come on, it seems so out of character for him to be a massive nonce.
I would never insinuate that he would,
be a massive nonce.
Just do random acts of violence. He's never promised violence on people he disagreed with, or people that would compromise him. He's never on camera said that he would do these things. He's never said that he could, I don't know, fire a loaded firearm into the general direction of someone's face on Fifth Avenue during the campaign. And y'all have, but hey, it's not my stone to carry, my friend. It's not my stone to carry. People want to keep believing this stuff, and they want to continue to be duped by a broke old pervert. Then that's on them. I just think it's weird.
Okay, we're getting a lot of requests from One Angry Pagan to talk about ecological issues. So let's talk about that for a few moments. How's the environment going over there? Are you having any forest fires, flash floods, hurricanes, tornadoes?
I live in the high plains of America, so we don't have all that. We just have tornadoes.
Have you had any good tornadoes? You had a terrible movie about tornadoes, Twisters, which is apparently not very good.
How dare you? What? That is like culture. That's like Clockwork Orange for us Midwesterners. We have all watched
the original Twister, but they now made a sequel to it
with
called
Helen
Twisters.
Hunt.
Yeah, and Bill Paxton. No, they've made a sequel to it.
No, don't do that.
Called Twisters, and it's meant to be shite. Hey, listen, I didn't make this movie.
Why did you make this movie?
I don't know.
I blame you personally.
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean,
I think there was a specific question being asked about wild boars. What animals do you have to watch out for in Chicago? Do you have bears walking down Main Street?
Boars, not so much. That's a southern thing. Like in Arkansas, Alabama, and stuff like that. Yeah, they have those big 200, 300-pound boars just running around. Not good, because they will tear up everything, and they will maul you. But we don't have those up here. That's what AR-15s are kind of for. Boar hunting, because their skin's like an inch thick, and there's like a pack of 50 of them. Don't fall down, they'll eat you. Like, it's bad.
Oh wow.
But they did report bears in southern Illinois, like a black bear, but we don't get bears and stuff like that. It's all plains out here, and it's
snakes.
Corn. No, you got Lake Michigan, and you got Chicago right there on the lake shore. And then you got some suburbs around it, and then it is corn country all the way until you get to the mountains.
How the lakes doing? Do they have fish in them, or is it just oil and pollutants and toxins?
I don't swim in the stuff close by the city because there's pigeons and seagulls, and then they make the water not so great. But Lake Michigan is gorgeous. People go kayaking and all kinds of sailing, all kinds of stuff.
It's bloody massive,
but I will say, we are a bit north, the polar vortex shit has to stop. Like the warming of the earth has like fucked up jet streams.
Yep.
Yo, this negative 20 degrees shit for fucking 8 days, 10 days straight is not cool. Because I think the coldest it's ever been with the wind chill was negative 52.
Yeah.
And it just destroyed my car battery.
Negative 52
Fahrenheit. Let me get that for you people. You people.
You weirdos.
Temperature.
That's got to be minus. That's got to be minus 20 or something, right?
Minus 52. No. Minus 52. Minus 46.6.
Oh, wow. That's quite close.
Yeah, it's bad. And then it'll sit like that. But it didn't used to be this way. The way the jet stream used to go, that stuff would be pushed more west. It would stay in the mountains. It would hit the Dakotas, and then
screw them.
But it's kind of just shifted eastwardly, and a lot like Minnesota gets it bad, and Wisconsin and us, like we're used to it being cold, like I don't know, negative 10, negative 15. That happens every winter, but where it gets double and triple that shit with the wind chill, and you're just fucked. And then what do you do when there's 20 million cars that won't start?
Get the bus.
Yeah, well, the
Have,
buses,
a, have, a-
all the
have, a-
diesel turns to jelly at
have an
-15.
effective public transport system, an effective underground public transport system.
No, we have
That's
the L. It's
always
above
too
ground.
hot. That's always
It's
too
called
hot.
the L. It's elevated train.
Why don't put it underground where it's nice and warm, even in the middle of winter? It's too hot.
Chicago used to be a swamp. Okay, we had to build the city up, and then it
used to be a
caught on
swamp.
fire.
What's
And
this?
then it
What's
caught
this
on fire.
used? What do you mean we used to be a swamp?
We pumped out all the swamp. It's all built. That's
Okay.
why it's all like
Sinking.
pylons and shit under the city. So it's all built on top of the
okay.
old Chicago. So
Yeah. Okay,
no,
fair enough.
So the train has to go on top because we can't. There is no underneath anymore.
Okay. All right. I'll let you off on that one. Yeah.
You saw it in Batman, and you loved it.
Batman.
Yeah,
Where they had to
Batman
walk
Begins.
across the lake. He sent them off across the lake.
No. When Batman Begins, he's on like that L. They shot a lot of Batman Begins downtown.
Oh, on the L train. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I thought you meant the bit where they sent the
bombs.
rich people over the ice. And I'm watching it going, am I supposed to be rooting for the rich people who are dying on the ice? Because I'm not, I'm kind of going, I'm kind of rooting for Bane here. He's put all the police officers underground and he's put all the rich people on trial. And then I realized that in Christopher Nolan's mind, because Christopher Nolan is, of course, part of the private school mafia, he thinks that rich people are great. I don't agree with him on that.
Come on, Batman, you can save them.
Save all the rich people. Save your fellow rich people, Batman.
But Batman was our rich guy. I think we got to give him that. We can't stain him with the billionaire trope. He's the only one that used his powers for goodliness. The literally only one. Until Elon Musk makes a Batmobile and starts beating the shit out of Nazis.
Tony Stark. Taylor Swift.
I don't say bad things about the Swifties.
Yeah, of course. Why would you?
Because they will come for you.
They will come.
It's great. It's great music. It's changed a generation, and I'm glad she got everybody registered to vote.
If we get Beyonce and Taylor Swift together,
that's a wrap, dude.
Do a song, and then the thing is, if Trump decides to have a pop at Taylor Swift for doing that, then that's what completely I'm saying. Game over. Because
they should bait him. They should just bait him. Just bait them. Just make them say something. Just like, hey, what do you think about that ad that Kamala had with Taylor Swift? Just put the mic right in his face. Like, come on, say it, stupid. Say it, stupid. You're dumb.
By the way, Mikey, we've had a message from Drup James, who says, "Lol, Berlin is also built on a swamp. ... Still has trains underground though. So there you go.
Well.
None of these excuses.
We have a small subway, but our big like public trains thing, it's the L. It's above ground. We don't have space. Okay, it's too late.
It's too late.
All right? It's done. The L is built. We're not putting it underground just so we can be cool like you. All right, it is what it is.
Do you think that when we do get the policies from Kamala and from Tim Walz, there will be a lot more in there about the environment, about the things that the younger generations are more concerned about than the older generations? Because the old generations just don't want to pay tax. That's the whole thing. That is the whole mantra. They don't want to pay tax on the money that they have.
Crazy thing. It's like they want to like give Americans good paying jobs, switching us off of our antiquated, horrible infrastructure and just upgrading it with greener alternatives. Yeah. And it's like no one wants to fund getting cleaner and saving money and also filling your pockets at the same time. It seems like a triple win scenario, but
but
we'll
no one
see
wants to
if
fund
it sticks.
Yeah. They want to fund. They want to fund roads which fall apart within a couple of years, and then you have to repair them every couple of years, rather than railways that you only have to repair every 40, 50 years, because they're railways. They don't wear as much as roads do because they don't have as much stuff going over them. I mean, it just there's so many things about the green revolution that just makes economic, not just moral sense. It also makes economic sense.
Better. It's just so much better. It's better. For in every metric that you can measure it against.
For every dollar you put into public transport, you get $100 back from just infrastructure, from building the economy in the local area, because people can move about. The more physical mobility you have for people, the better your economy is going to do. It's why every major city in the world tries at least to have some kind of decent public infrastructure system to get people around, except in America where they're like, no, just drive. All 40 million of you, just drive.
But that's the problem. We have the space to accommodate it. Where like in other places where your city can't be larger than this because there's like some sort of landmass that's blocking it, or it's something else is going on in that area. Our cities can stretch and stretch and stretch. Like our suburbs, I mean, the Chicago suburbs go past way past me, and I'm almost 50 miles away.
Yeah.
So like our cities are just like these webs that just kind of like this mycelial network of houses. And like the further you go out, where I'm at, you definitely need a car. The public transit will not save you. I would probably have to walk 5 miles to get to the bus stop.
Wow.
It's just not emphasized out here. You're expected to have a vehicle. You're expected to be able to have a job that affords you somewhere to live. If you want it cheap, you got to go to if you don't want to buy a car, you got to go to the city. But if you go to the city, you got to make almost triple the amount of money.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they want everyone to do, but what we're doing currently sucks. No one likes it. Doesn't work.
It does indeed. Well, listen, we better wrap it up there, I think.
Yeah.
If my mouse decides to start working again. Oh, that'd be great. Thank you. Well, thank you very much, Mikey Famine, all the way over in Chicago. God, I said California then. Too used to talking to Brenna. Brenna should be with us next week on Monday night. So please join us for that, for her take on
California.
What's happening over there on the West Coast. You're not on the East Coast or the West Coast, are you? You're kind of middle.
I'm on the Midwest Coast, which is, as far as I'm concerned, the mid-best coast.
The mid-best. So it's the middle of the best.
It's the middle best.
How
the middle best bits.
The best is a superlative. You can't be middle of the best. That's like being the Lone Rangers. There's more than one of you. You're not exactly lone.
That's how ethereal we are. It's hard to describe.
Is it hot there now, though? I mean, it's the middle of summer. Please tell me it's not minus 40 degrees outside.
No, I mean, it's been cooler, but it was in the. Let me convert again. It was in the 90s last week. 32. It was 32 last week.
Oh, that's nice and warm.
Yeah,
I think it was like summer. 30. It was 34 in parts of Britain today, and everyone was losing their freaking minds. Like, oh my god, it's so hot.
We just stay inside those days, or we go swimming.
But we don't have air conditioning. You see, you have air conditioning in America everywhere you go. In the UK, it is quite.
I can't understand why you guys have not evolved to fucking get forced air inside your homes. It's so much better.
We don't need it.
It's
you only
cheaper.
Have 2 hot days a year.
It's better for the environment.
It's cheaper than opening a window. What?
No, it's better. It's better for the environment than you guys. You guys all have those little window things with the little remote control, and you think you're so cool.
No. It's a window. It's literally a hole in the wall with glass, and you open it, and that lets.
So you don't put brick there. You just put glass there instead.
Put glass. It's like this behind me, right? You see this? That's a window, and you open the window, and then air gushes through the window. It's amazing.
Well, I forget that you guys are on this like climate neutral mossy rock out in the Atlantic. So you don't really get a lot of fluctuation or random stuff. Do you even have wind there?
We have lots of wind. We have a remarkable amount of wind, which we could harness using wind farms, but we weren't allowed to by the last government. But this government,
I just don't get it. I don't like. They're like, man, this wind is really fucking up my hair. Now, let me stop fixing my hair and let me solve this energy crisis. It's right there, man. If this alien came down from space and looked at us and in the state of our energy production, they'd be like, "There's a big friggin' star right there. It's right there. Just use the star. Just use the star."
Yeah. That seems like a good idea, but there's not as much money in that as there is in oil. Oil. Good old money's toxic made up. Dinosaur sludge. We need it. In fact, the US has been producing more oil than ever before under Biden. Cheers for that, Joe. Anyway, right, I can't better let you go. Get on with your day. And thanks very much, Mikey. Thanks to everyone in the chat for being so cordial. And for anyone who dropped in a super chat, thank you very much. It's very kind.
Go follow the Bin Podcast. Go follow the Bin Podcast. Go follow the Bin Podcast.
Follow the Bin Podcast, which is Mikey and Wayne and Brenna's podcast that they run. Are you going to be doing it on Thursday?
Yes.
This Thursday?
And we have a special guest coming at the end of the month who used to work with Kamala Harris.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. So 8 o'clock British summertime on Thursday?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
right. Bin Podcast. Please subscribe. Just type in Bin Podcast into the Google's YouTube and you'll find it. So yeah,
we're there.
I heartily recommend. I've been on a couple of times. And I got to keep the hat. Okay, so Mikey, thank you very much. And the rest of you, Phil will see you in the morning at 9:30 for Morning Brew. And until then, I'll say thanks for watching. Hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.